Thoughts on Moby-Dick and Blood Meridian from the Pena. The evening redness in the west can be compared to the whale in a few interesting ways. The heroes. Ishmael, we can wager, is an assumed name. We are never told his real one. We are never told the kid's real name either. He is granted just that epithet, the kid. Ishmael has great interiority. His commodious mind palace is filled with classical references and ingenious conceits and metaphors. The kid is mostly exterior. We are given only scraps of information as to how he feels or what he is thinking. The setting. Moby-Dick takes place primarily at sea. Meridian occurs across the land. This is notable because, as the reader will remember from chapter 96 of The Whale, Ishmael describes a true man's heart as being very much like the planet Earth in that, as the earth is 2/3 water and 1/3 land, so a true man's heart must be 2/3 sorrow and 1/3 joy. Keeping this in mind, one might think that the books that's set on land would be a happier book, but no, we feel it is much sadder, much more violent and grotesque, a much angrier book. Moby-Dick is a tragedy, but it's also a very happy, very funny, very sweet book. The antagonists, or the sublime figures, Captain Ahab and the Judge, a figure whose given name comes from a biblical king, contrasted with a supernatural depiction of a real man who lived in the 19th century. Ahab has been rightly compared with Hitler. The Judge is a portrait of Hitler that can never be stopped. Ahab is the captain of the ship. The Judge plays consigliere, and both Starbuck and Fettle let Captain John Glanton, the man who thinks he's in the driver's seat but whose ends are truly being warped by the Judge. It was puissant of McCarthy to portray his Ares incarnate in such a manner. Ahab perishes with his crew. Only Ishmael escapes to tell the tragedy of the Pequod. We can reasonably believe that the kid is felled by the end of Meridian, with his crew as well, although belatedly. The Judge alone stands. We imagine Ahab as a wretched, demonic cripple. The Judge is described as being 7 foot, with a smooth and round head like a stone, in great health, with childlike features and perfect teeth. The man is a genius. He can make gunpowder from dirt and piss. He never misses, least we've never seen or heard he has. Ahab is portended first before he is revealed. The Judge arrives without warning and makes himself immediately important, felt, and believed. Ahab flirts with the demonic and the occult and describes himself as mad. The Judge is always lucid and we never really buy that he's crazy. Ahab lost his life fighting with nature. The Judge will never die and is winning. The signs, or the symbols, or the silence of God. Both novels, though both are really encyclopedic tomes, Meridian full of digested and Moby-Dick of undigested knowledge, in my opinion, deal with man's struggle with the unresponsive nature of nature. With how we look for messages and recognition anywhere and everywhere. Remember in Meridian how one guy begged God for rain and it rained, or in Moby-Dick the bird of ill omen that grabs Ahab's hat from off his head and drops it into the sea. What are we to take these as but messages from God? Perhaps by the end of both novels, Ishmael has become a bit more like the kid, and the kid is a bit more like Ishmael. We will lastly remember how McCarthy himself said that books are made from out of books. He called this sad, and it is sad, in the way that all things at bottom are very sad, even pitiable. You cannot have the evening redness in the west if you do not first have the whale.